The long lost answer of what actually makes us log into World of Warcraft. Well, I have the simplest answer out there. It's addiction. You're an addict, son.
Recently, I asked myself the question, what makes me log into World of Warcraft? And it made me think,
addiction.
Why do other people log into World of Warcraft?
They're addicts. They need help.
Right? And at first you think like, oh, you're just going to play WoW, right? You log in to play the game. But what makes you
I have
in?
WoW
like,
in
really
my
think
veins.
About it. And I was looking around the internet of like, what do you love about WoW? What do you hate about WoW? What makes you log into the game? Because so many people play games.
The brain patterns that convinces me each day that I love the game, even though it causes me immense suffering.
Because they want to have fun. But what makes you have fun in that game? And so I realized in the most recent patch, they added things like void assaults, rituals, abyss angling, and all this stuff. And I asked a community poll and said, are you still engaging with this content? And the vast majority of people either didn't do...
I didn't do any of them. Of course. Of course. Nobody's played a game. They're a bunch of clankers that can do anything but robot mechanics. It's hilarious, bro. It's just so funny to see. I'm telling you guys, I know what's up. I know how a WoW player think because I'm one of them. Like, it's so sad to see. I mean, welcome to my asylum. Yeah, there it is. Just in front of you. But to be fair, at least we have Classic to kind of help us mend.
It, or
hey, Barba.
But didn't continue doing it, and then a small amount are still doing it, right? And it made me realize I didn't really care about this patch that much. And I don't really care about these types of content updates because it just feels like busy work to me, right? They're like, go get this gear, get this stuff, and it's going to get replaced anyway. But I thought to myself, well, a lot of things in World of Warcraft are getting replaced, right? If you go raid or do Mythic Plus or do all these things, you know in the back of your head this gear is going to get replaced at some point, right?
Yeah, but that point is very, very close. That point used to be every expansion, which is 2 years, and that was acceptable by everybody. We understand that vertical progression isn't infinite, right? You'd have to lose your gear somewhere down the line. It's not a horizontal MMO where you get to keep everything forever and everything is viable. This is vertical MMO, and people have accepted the fact that it's going to go away. But it used to go away every 2 years, not every 3 months. That's the problem. The game is now cyclical. It's just like Diablo. It's playing like an ARPG. It's just insane to me that Blizzard would think that that is a good course of option for an MMO.
So that wasn't really my reason, and I think I figured
course
out
of action, sorry.
I just didn't really want to do these events because they weren't fun. And I think that's what it boiled down to. And so I started thinking to myself, well, why do I like World of Warcraft? And so number one is the world and the exploration of the world. That is absolutely number one. I would even tie Classic WoW into this category because when you play Classic WoW, it's the 1 to 60 experience that everybody talks about, right? It's all about leveling. It's about starting as a nobody and becoming a somebody, right? You're not even like a super...
No, you're a nobody with a glowing sword, but you're still a goddamn nobody, and we love that. We absolutely love that. Nobody likes to be the champion of Azeroth. Nobody likes swinging between all of these important lore characters like Magni, Thrall, Jaina. Nobody wants that. Nobody.
Superhero or anything. You're somebody. You're a hero in the world now. You've ascended from a nobody to a level 60 that can do stuff like raid and fight big bosses and things. But I would say that in that progress, you're also exploring the world. You're going to these different zones. You feel like you're like, okay, I've completed this zone.
Man, look at the
Now I go
barons.
on to the next zone, right?
So
and
good.
In that process, you're also experiencing different little stories and lore throughout the world, and you're getting to kind of just experience that world in a very slow pace at times, but I think sometimes that slow pace really is why people enjoy Classic World of Warcraft, because it allows you to do the thing of stopping and smelling the flowers, right? And that's also why I enjoy making pointless top 10s and the types of videos that I do, is because I just love the world, man. Like, I love just going to a place like Valley of the Four Winds and just going around and looking at stuff and being like, yo, this is really cool, or, you know, literally anywhere. I love going all over the world and exploring the world of Warcraft. And I think that's the number one thing for me is whether there's a mediocre patch or a bad patch or a good patch, for me, it all kind of boils down to, I just want to go explore the world. And I think that's a lot of people as well. Now we get to the number 2 point, which I would say is collecting stuff. And I think this is definitely more of a retail thing than a classic WoW thing, because in classic WoW, you know, there's not as much to collect. There's no mounts, there's no pets.
No, you can collect Ls. I was doing it for a long period of time. Like, you can be bad at PvP, you can suck at raiding, you can suck at leveling. Like, no, you can collect Ls. You can collect them like Infinity Stones. I was doing it back in the day. There's no reason why you can't do it now.
There's no transmogs, there's no...
Oh yeah, and by the way, like, you feel like Captain Godkiller in Guild Wars 2? Absolutely. Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft Retail suffer the exact same thing of you never stop and enjoy the world. Like, never. You never stop and enjoy the world, and it's just such a damn shame, because I truly believe that core Tyria in Guild Wars 2 has a lot of similarity to classic World of Warcraft, but everything happens so fast, you don't really get to absorb any of it. You don't get to immerse yourself inside of it. Dungeons are the only exception, probably, and even then, like, it's way too fast. And nobody cares about dungeons anymore. They stopped making those. Yeah, I think waypoints should be dialed down in Guild Wars 2. Absolutely. Absolutely. But with that in mind, people just have flying mounts nowadays, so it probably wouldn't even matter.
So, you know, all this stuff. And I would argue that retail WoW, this is it. Like, this is actually the main focal point of a lot of people playing retail WoW. I would say it's one of the things that makes me play retail WoW, because I love the mount collection. I mean, I like getting pets and other stuff, but mounts is pretty much my main thing. Even with housing decor, I haven't really worked on my house that much, but I've been collecting decor, because I'm like, dude, I might use that decor one day, right? And so I would say
No, you'll be forced to purchase a plushie bundle for $75.
The retail WoW experience
That's what you'll
is
do.
currently more focused on just the collection of stuff. And if you look at a lot of the posts people make when patches come out, like this most recent one with the Void Assaults and the Rituals, a lot of people are like, well, I did it to get the stuff, and then I didn't play anymore, right? Because it's like a collection thing. Like, I did it to collect the things from the event, and now I've collected them, so I'm not going to waste my time with this stuff because I find it boring or meaningless or there's no reason to do it anymore, right? And so...
But don't you see how bad it is for a game when someone only logs into the game to collect something and then immediately dips? Like, that is really bad. It's not a good model to sustain yourself long term. I mean, I get it. Okay, you have that FOMO. You really want that brand new shiny item before it may go away or be removed forever. But, like, how is that a good thing? That's a dark pattern. Like, nobody agrees that that is actually good and healthy for the game or your brain or your mental health. But again, big corpos, like, doesn't care. Like, they don't care. Like, they truly do not give a shit about what it does to you. All they care about is that you click subscribe one more time. That's what they're trying to squeeze out of you.
I'm actually kind of intrigued by the fact that WoW doesn't do more events focused around collection, because we had, even last year, I believe it was in June or July, we had that big mount event where they were like, hey, everybody, it's like 5% easier to get mounts, or whatever the thing was, right?
No, instead the only events we're getting nowadays are the Rainbow Dark Spear Troll Dash Run. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool event. This is the only type of event we're getting nowadays, and this is what you can expect Blizzard from the future too. It's it's going to be a good one. Trust me, guys, it's going to be a good one.
5 times easier, 5%. And so I was honestly playing like constantly. I was like, dude, I can go back to all these old raids and get all this stuff. And it wasn't guaranteed. Like, it was, if you put a lot of the time in, you pretty much were probably going to get some of these mounts. I got a whole bunch of them, but it was never guaranteed. Some I got on like the final day, right? But it was so cool going back and seeing people trying to get these mounts and going to old raids and old dungeons and old areas. And it was cool to see even people just waiting outside places like Wulduar, right? Like, the world started coming alive, which ties
Imagine
back
having
into the first
fun
part,
inside of an
which is,
MMO.
It's about being in the world and seeing people
And
in the
WoW
world.
at that.
And so I think the world is most fun when the world is alive or has the illusion that it's alive, right? don't get me wrong, there's like plenty of modern retail stuff that I enjoyed that they've added in. Things like delves. I've always enjoyed delves since they've added those in.
I mean, again, I gotta admit, I know people hate me when I say it. I enjoy delves too, right? But they are a single player content inside of an MMORPG, and you really need to be careful with that. I think the way they should implement delves is as they are, but extend it and make it go through expansions. Like, keep delves for the future 100%. I think that's a good thing. Obviously, they have. It came in Dragonflight, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a really cool feature, but you need to expand on it. You can't just leave it as a bare bone system where you just go through it, you're done with it, and that's it. Like, you should make it way more fun, way more roguelite. I think that would be amazing. But it's Blizzard we're talking about, so I highly doubt that would happen. But that being said, I think it's a good system. You just need to make sure it doesn't give gear. I think the moment it gives out gear, it competes with other system. I think you should keep it purely cosmetic and stuff that are only tied to delve. So people that are only doing delves, it will be like doing Super Adventure Box in Guild Wars 2. Super Adventure Box is like this really insane event that happened all throughout April. And basically you have rewards that are specifically tied to that. It's crazy, I'm not gonna go too much into that. But yeah, they should make delves something like that. Like, only stuff that happened in delves you can get from that. Like cosmetics that are tied to delves, maybe housing items, housing decor that ties to delves, 100%. They should keep all of that, but they should never give out gear from there. Like, never. Delves are the only good content today. At this point, nobody played them, though. I certainly wouldn't. Yeah, it's bad. Because Blizzard need to constantly improvise and adapt and obviously improve the existed thing. But they don't want to do that. They're too lazy. They're just throwing a new system. It's half-baked. People are like, oh, you know, it's kind of fun, but I wish there were more. And Blizzard would never do more. Why? Because they're too busy refrigerating.
Things like Warbound or, making all of your reputations and stuff account-wide, which is really nice. There's a lot of quality of life stuff they've added that's pretty nice. And some people just enjoy doing things like raiding or Mythic Plus or PvP, right? And that's fine.
That's all you have left.
I think at the end of the day, a lot of people are playing World of Warcraft because they truly do enjoy the world, right? That's what it's all about. That's why people have played this game.
Nobody enjoy the world. Nobody can tell you where something is. It's not like Classic where you can walk all of these ancient zones and still know every nook and cranny and where to find every single NPC in Classic World of Warcraft, but people would never tell you where a certain NPC is if you take off their map. Like, would someone even find something in current Silvermoon City if it wasn't for the map? Nobody knows Silvermoon City. And granted, it's one of the most gorgeous looking cities I've seen in the history of World of Warcraft. Okay, admittedly. But it's too damn big. It's like they made the entire city opted for flying. If you don't own a flying mount, you would never get by in that city. It's just so big, it's so vast and empty. Everyone just gather at one single zone because that's all that matters. So you need to make the city like 50% smaller. I'm not even joking. 50% smaller, and it would become 10 times better. There is no reason to make big open worlds like they're doing nowadays, unless you specifically tailor them for flying. But at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm convinced, like, flying was so detrimental for the game. I start to see what people talked about to me, right? They really kind of talked me into it, but it happened by accident, right? They didn't mean to. But yeah, many people yelled at me for not believing in ground walking for eternity. I thought flying was good in TBC. Now I'm starting to see that I was in the wrong.
For over 20 years, because they love the world, and that's why they started even playing World of Warcraft in the first place, was they enjoyed the World of Warcraft 3, right? And playing Warcraft 3, and then it was like, dude, we can go into this Warcraft world and explore it. And I feel like at times they've almost forgotten that. These are just some of the things I've been thinking about, and so when I
can't
think
forget
about
those cash up deals, yeah, true.
It pretty much just boils down to I like collecting stuff in retail WoW, and I like exploring, which I do in retail WoW and in classic WoW.
I like mobile game experience, yeah, for sure, 100%. By the way, WoW is coming to mobile, I think, next year. Trust me, guys, I have insider knowledge.
And that's mainly it. Like, I don't care about doing these little events that are just like, go do a little fighting thing over here. And there's people that do. It's just, it's not for me. I really wish we had more holiday type events, like they have the little mini holidays with the Sporgar, or they have like Boat Day. And I wish they actually put some more resources into those. Like, I wish those holidays almost lasted a little bit longer, and maybe they had better rewards, and actually
And they were better at every single shape and form.
Or even having Dark Moon Fair-esque holidays where we have like a week of just something. It doesn't have to be the Dark Moon Fair, but just like maybe something that happens, you know, every other week of the month, where it could just be anything, like some sort of merchant show up in a place, or something that revolves around exploration and collecting, right? And I think those are the types of things that would be really fun, because it hits those two categories I was just talking about, which is collecting and exploration. And I think if you really focus on those, I think a lot of people will start enjoying playing the game when there's nothing to do, because then it gives you something to do. It gives you a reason to go back out into the world, right? It's the same reason that when we had garrisons in Warlords of Draenor, it felt kind of boring because nobody was going out into the world. You just sat in your garrison, and it defeated the whole premise of the game, right? So I think at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at here is,
you want meta events inside of World of Warcraft. Yeah, that's basically what he's getting down to. And in case, guys, you're like a WoW player and you're watching this and you don't understand what I'm talking about, meta events are those things in Guild Wars 2 that pretty much keep every single old world alive. It gives a reason for players to go back and actually explore previous expansions and earlier expansions just for the sake of getting something out of them. So basically, this man right here wants a system that already exists and proven to be successful inside of a different MMO in World of Warcraft. And that's crazy talk. Like, why would you ever want that? You know WoW is consistently garbage. How dare you try to improve the game? And I mean, don't even get me started about the fact that Guild Wars 2 shamelessly stole Dragon Flying from World of Warcraft 10 years prior to Blizzard coming out with it. And Vistas. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. ArenaNet is shameless.
we just need...
Yeah, level scaling helps with that too. You don't need level scaling for that to work. You can, like, make it, I don't know, something really fun. But you can also do level scaling, obviously. I think for an event, it's fine. It's not too immersion breaking, but just for the sake of having people like reliving expansions and coming back to the old world, like, sure, like, why not?
More stuff that focuses
even though I don't
on
think it's necessary.
the world and the exploration of the world. And I mean, they already lean into collecting a lot, but I would say even just playing around with collecting, like they did with the mount collecting event, right? And I think there's so many different ways to do it. And right now, it just feels almost like a quantity over quality, right? They're just like, here's more stuff, and it's just kind of paper thin, like little events. And they're out in the world, but it's like, I don't know, I don't want to go over there. Like, you know what I mean? And there's just...
Here's a very shallow system. Go enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. It's shallow. It's garbage. How dare you? You asked for this. We gave you what you wanted and you still didn't like it? You're at fault here. That's basically Blizzard gaslighting 101. That's how it works. That's how Blizzard operates. And you should never fall into that trap, because you know that Blizzard... I mean, listen, someone told me in the comments on my previous video something that actually kind of stuck with me. He told me, dude, just always assume that Blizzard is going to choose the most evil option ever, and you'll never be confused again. And I swear to God, that was the truest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, everything just makes sense now.
Something about that just, it rubs me the wrong way. So,
are we trashing on Blizzard again? Yeah.
Below. I just wanted to make this little rant video, because I was just thinking the other day, like, why am I logging in? Why don't I want to log in right now? The main reason I want to log in is just to go fly around and look at stuff. Like, that's really what it is. So let me know in the comments section. Thanks for listening to this little rant. If you want more videos, I'll put them up on the screen.
Absolutely. Fire video. Fire video. He was absolutely right, but I could tell that he didn't want to speak about, like, who's to blame here, which we all know by now, is Blizzard. So yeah, very good video. First video I watched from this guy. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. You guys should watch this video, give him a like for yourself. But yeah, I already said what I had to. Somehow I managed to turn a 10-minute video into 20-minute video. I truly have that charm about me that, I don't know, I just yap on end. But to be fair, it's mostly Blizzard's fault. They give me all of these things that I can talk about. Like, why wouldn't I, right? It's so charming. It's truly incredible. Classic. I know.